with Dr. Mitchell. This is episode 7, Holiday Happenings. And I'm here in Mount Holly Cemetery in Little Rock, Arkansas, off Broadway. In this episode of Holiday Happenings, we're nearing Thanksgiving. And while that's a joyous holiday for most of us, it's not for all of us. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about the struggles of the indigenous Americans here, who we often place in our fantasies of Thanksgiving as the giving Indians. Let's play some of their real history out here on Rooted and Real. The Indian Removal Act took nearly 60,000 indigenous Americans from their homes, many of them Cherokee, and forced them to walk the Trail of Tears, what they called the Trail of Death. It came right through here, Mount Holly Cemetery in Little Rock. Well, the trail didn't come exactly through Mount Holly Cemetery, but the Trail of Life and Death did. Quati was coming along the river route, the Arkansas River route, where she died and was then placed here in Mount Holly Cemetery. Let me give you a little bit more of her history. Chief John Ross had 2 wives. One was called Elizabeth Quati Ross. Her maiden name was Elizabeth Brown Henley. She was born circa 1791 in the Cherokee Nation East, which is now part of Georgia. She had 5 children with John Ross that had lived to adulthood, but she died on February 1st, 1839, in Little Rock, Arkansas, during a forced march on the Trail of Tears. She was originally buried in the city cemetery, but her remains were reinterred right here at Mount Holly Cemetery in Little Rock. Most of the Native Americans had to travel during the months of August through December, the hardest parts of the fall and winter. Although I'm unable to speak for any indigenous people because I belong to no tribe, I can, as a human being, sit back and bear witness to the pain and trials of their culture. Although the American holiday of Thanksgiving is a day that we smile and cheer about and meet with our family and friends, I want us to all hold space at some point during that day for those family members of people and descendants of people of indigenous nations who weren't able to do that in the year of 1838, 1839, and far in the future after that. So, for my question of the day, which I've started calling the QOTD, do you have an interesting fact about Thanksgiving or something that you could teach us about indigenous cultures? Rooted in history, empowered by my ancestors, and always keeping it real, this is Dr. Mitchell, and I'm out.